Hello everybody and welcome back to the fantastic Rusty Acres by Fluke. So to begin with, what we're going to do is just get a few attachments purchased for the Merlot. As you can see over there, we have a selection of different bales. The reason for having those is because of the cows. I ran a vote in the previous episode basically asking my audience if you want me to transfer the cows from the Chellington series, and about 75% of my viewers said yes. And these are not cheated in, technically, because we actually left loads of bales over at the other farm at Chellington, way more than what we have here, so we're still sort of at a disadvantage. Okay, so yeah, we do start off with some equipment already. We have the bucket, we don't have the manure fork, that is going to be needed, but at the same time so is the biobales bucket just here, so I think we'll go with that. We'll have it sort of Deutz-Fahr colour. Oh, actually, I've never configured it this way around. If we do that, I know it's more expensive. Yeah, that looks quite good. Okay, £5,200. And yeah, as for the manure fork, we might get it in the future. And we do have the bale fork already. So actually, what I'll do is I'll go and get it. We'll take this trailer back. And we do need to get, ideally, a bale trailer. Now it looks like Deutz-Fahr is more sort of lime coloured. Not to worry, doesn't matter. Yeah, that is a big bucket, but the advantage of using the Merlot with it is we can have a rear weight on the 3-point linkage. So let's go and drop this off in the farmyard. I might have been able to get away with putting the bales actually on this trailer, but it would have been a bit of a squeeze, and probably, well, definitely, we have far too many for it. It would have been very heavy. So I really am going to try my best to keep this farm tidy. I think we'll just keep all the telehandler stuff in the starting position, just over here. We'll probably sell the big shovel, the small shovel eventually, just because we likely won't use it when we've got the biobales bucket. But we'll keep it here for now. I think with this trailer, I'll just put it down the side. And the side of here, it's very spacious back here. I've just crashed into the shed. Bad driving. Okay. Yes, I don't want to mess around too much to begin with. We really do need to get cracking. We have fields waiting for us. There we go. So the pallet fork can just live over here. That way I always know where it is. And eventually we'll probably upgrade this bale spike with a CSZ one. There we go. Okay, yeah, so as I said, bale trailers is something we're going to need quite a bit. We're really going to be carting many things around. So we'll take a look in here. And we'll see what the best one is to buy. The Rollin ones are the ones which I have enabled. So it makes sense to have one of these. That one looks very nice. That's for square bales, that one's for round bales. I think we're going to be focusing on square. We have a square baler, don't we? Maybe not. No, we don't. We're going to be doing pallets as well, obviously. So yeah, we'll go with the square bale one. Oh, we can choose auto load, which we're not going to do. No cheating. Actually, I had quite a few people saying, can you make it realistic? I'll try my best. Sometimes I just get stuff wrong because I don't know otherwise, but yeah, I'll try my best. Capacity 28, don't know if that matters when we're not auto loading. And yeah, wide tyres are good. Thing is, we're getting through our money. We could add wide tyres later. Although, standard is still £800. That seems pricey. Okay, buy that. Let's go and load the bales that we have. And then we'll be putting them under cover in a shed. Probably one of those ones with the solar panels, but we'll see. Okay, so we're almost back at the farm. Looking at the way I've stacked this trailer, I realise that it's not the best way of doing it. We should have the weight a bit further back, and I didn't really need to stack them 4 high. That field there is ready to harvest. I think it's a soybean field. We are going to be focusing on the different multi-fruit as well, but that is just the crop that was already growing, so we need to get it sorted out. In fact, we may even put a different crop in the field which we cultivated in the previous episode, in the first episode. But let's just get these put in the shed. We do need to invest in a feed mixer. We can't actually really feed the cows properly until we have a feed mixer, because we're not running seasons, so it's not a case of just giving them all the different ingredients. We have to give them total mixed ration. So I think that is the sell point. I don't want to put the bells inside the sell point, because that will end badly. That's a good place. Yep, either of those two. Absolutely fine. Now I need to refresh my memory on how many cows we actually had, but I think it was something like 52, which is obviously quite a few. They're going to be for milk production, as you would expect, and I will attempt to make this stack of bells a bit neater this time. It's impressive though, this telehandler lifting all 4 without any issues at all. So as you can see, it is 5:45 in the evening. We are going to rest very, very soon. Let's just try and level these bales off. Wasn't my intention, but they're in the shed. There we go. We'll get the next 8. And then we can pop the trailer away and really start to think about the next crop. There are the marshmallow flavoured bales, and finally we have the hay bales. So this map actually does have compost. We can use compost as a fertiliser, so it would be the equivalent of manure. You can just pop it into a spreader and get it put onto the land, and I have been sent a sort of modified version of precision farming by Fluke, the creator of the map. Thank you to Fluke, so that I can use the compost in that way. Oh, so close. I do apologise for my horrific stacking there. But there we go. Everything is in. We do need to make more of our own products though. And I suppose a good place for that trailer is also going to be in one of these sheds, as we have so much space. We also have the 2 silage pits at the top of the yard. I could pop them into there, but since we've bought a brand new trailer, it would seem quite nice to put it under cover. Just noticed the switch. I could have probably had some lights. Let's just see. Unless it is just the external light. I don't think there's actually any bulbs fitted in here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we can sort out the feed mixer at a later date. Let's rest, and then we will return, and we can start to figure out which crop is going into field number 24, just down here. Okay, so I've decided that we're probably going to put a crop in like onions, because it's a nice big field, and we have all the other fields for cereal crops. It's going to be harvested sometime down the line. Anyway, I have the big bags here. It's £150 each. We need to put the lime on so that we can create that perfect pH. So we'll take this over to the shop. We'll get it loaded up. And you never know, this telehandler might be capable of actually running the spreader, as it is the, what is it, the Turbo Farmer? Yeah, with the 3-point linkage. Very versatile machine. But yeah, I think we'll probably just swap it over to the case tractor or something. I still want to replace the case tractor. I did have some good suggestions. Some of my viewers said, Fent, go for a Fent. but not the Black Beauty which I currently have. I think it was the model down from that which was recommended. I think the idea is to have sort of like for like, the same sort of horsepower. I must say, I would quite fancy a Black Beauty. I don't know if you can only get the 939 in that colour scheme. But yeah, we're supposed to be doing this for practicality rather than for looks. Obviously the 939 is practical, it's just, for us, we already have a big tractor. We probably would be better off having a smaller tractor as well, a sort of medium-sized tractor. Here we are. Well, judging by how that pulled the spreader on the way, I reckon we probably could use it. And some may accuse me of being unrealistic, as you wouldn't tend to do that kind of job with a telehandler, but these Merlots, they're all about it really. They're great. I went to a show once and they were ploughing with one. It was doing it fine. And it was quite a big plough, I think like 5 or 6 furrow. Impressive. Right, so yeah, we'll just get these big bags emptied into here. And then maybe we can try it out. I think if we were doing it with another brand, it might be a different story. Because I'm pretty sure these have been designed kind of like tractors. When I was at the show, there was I think he worked for Merlot. He was saying that it's designed really for, well, not only for, but with this kind of farmer in mind, somebody who wouldn't necessarily have loads of tractors available, and using the telehandler as a tractor is a fantastic alternative to having to buy another tractor on top of the smaller tractor they already have to run the smaller equipment, like a livestock farm. Seems like a really good idea. And yeah, the big bags are working nicely. As mentioned in the previous episode, I'm not too sure if there is a line buy point here, but I'm not worried about that. I quite like using the big bags. It looks like I probably have bought just the right amount, unintentionally. There we go. Whoops. Don't know if that's going to be enough. I think, yeah, okay. There is still half a bag left. So we'll keep half a bag just over here, but we must pick it up later. The dealership will not approve of us leaving our things here. I suppose as we're going to be back, we'll leave the pallet fork as well. So let's see how well the Merlot spreads lime. Again, towing it absolutely no problem at all. Must be quite heavy. Here's my field in front. We should have the map automatically update. I think it will zoom in when we get into the field. There we go. It actually already looks quite good. I'm not too sure exactly what we're aiming for, but we'll let the system work that out. Oh yeah, it's going green. So we must have been about 4.5 before, and we're looking for neutral. But look at that, a telehandler spreading lime with no issues at all. It's really good. So actually that is going to mean that we don't have to go too crazy with the buying of tractors. We can use this as a tractor, which, as I mentioned, is what it's intended for. A tractor and a telehandler. Just around the corner here is the pallet production area which I set up in the first episode. We'll be using that fairly soon. And once we've done this, we're actually going to go and harvest a field to get a bit of income in. And then we can keep thinking about which crop is going to go into here, but I'm thinking onions. Onions will be good. The worst thing about doing onions is the fact that we'd have to get a fairly big machine, and it tends to be a modified sugar beet harvester. That kind of puts me off. Not because it's a modified sugar beet harvester, just because the machines that are available to us are pretty small. And if we do go for the modified one, it's going to be a sugar beet harvester underneath. Unless there is a mod out, maybe there is. Failing that, we could just put in a standard crop. Or we could get a planter and we could put a crop in such as miscanthus, I think. Is that available to us? It is. Yeah, we could do miscanthus. Anyway, firstly, let's just get this done. Let's get that pH adjusted. Right, so we're just going back to the field to finish off. There's a very small piece to do. We have loads more lime. The reason for that is because we have loads of fields. I'm about to harvest one, and that one is going to have to be spread with lime. In fact, every field which we own, except for field number 24, is going to be bad for nitrogen, bad for pH, and it's just really going to be bad in general. So yeah, I've been taking that shortcut through the other farm. It's very nice, good shortcut. The gates open automatically. And yeah, I think we'll actually keep this over at the field we're going to harvest, because it's going to be done immediately. We're going to need plenty more big bags of lime. Luckily, it's not too expensive. Yeah, I love these gates just here, they're great. You do have to get close enough. There we go. Fantastic. It looks so realistic. I really don't think there's too much though. We'll be moving on in just a second. And because we have quite a big combine harvester, we should be able to get the soybeans harvested in a matter of minutes. And then we'll just dump it into a trailer and get them sold. And there's no point waiting for anything. Soybeans can just be sold straight off the field, just between the poles. Now the poles aren't ideal for us just from a practical point of view, so what we could do possibly is put a grass strip down there, just connect them with a grass strip. I don't know, it might not make it any easier, and it is taking up a piece of farmland, so I don't know, we'll have to think about that in the future. But this episode's vote is down below, and it is all about the crop that is going to go into here. I mentioned a few: onions, miscanthus, or a cereal crop. To be honest, anything is good, which is why you'll find the list of crops to choose from is pretty vast. If I remember to put the vote there. Usually it gets added a few hours after the video got published, just because I forgot to put it there. The reason why, if anybody's thinking, oh, I've got serious memory loss or something, the reason why I tend to forget to put the vote in is because I don't set the video title and description and stuff on the same day as recording it. So firstly, I can just not realise that video needed a vote in the first place. Well, it's going to be easier for this series because I know that every episode is going to have a vote, but also because I do it the moment I wake up and I'm kind of half asleep still. So that is the reason for that. Okay, finishing off. It's looking good. You can see on the minimap we have a really good pH. The whole field is the same. Really nice. Actually, the reason why the whole field is the same is because it is pretty much all loam. I think there was a speck in the top corner which was sandy loam, so that might be a different colour. Yeah, I think a grass strip might be useful. Good. We are done. So go and put this next to the field, which we're going to be harvesting, and then we'll harvest. That is the field in question. Very rectangular, very easy to do. We've got a good grass boundary, so we can just park this on there, and then since we have enough space we can then use the rest of the field to manoeuvre and put the two big bags on the front into the spreader. And that seems to be the gateway just there, so if I just put my hazards on, we'll get it opened up for the combine. Just back into here, not sure what this place is. Oh, it's their driveway. Parking area. Yeah. We'll just go here. Keep ourselves tucked in. It's going to be an okay harvest. Now we have the fun of trying to reverse the header trailer. These ones aren't too bad. Although, depends how far we're going. Okay, that'll do. Should be able to spin round. Yeah, look at all that space we have up there. The two silage pits. We're going to be using them. We'll need plenty of silage for the cows. It's going to be 50% of the requirement, I think. The base ingredient for the total mixed ration. That's actually quite tight. Very tight. And of course I do have crop destruction to make it more realistic. Sometimes you just can't do anything about it. So there might be a few viewers going crazy, but to be honest, imagine this field in real life. How would you get the header on without driving in the crop? It's not really possible. So I don't mind losing a bit of yield, just to be realistic. And it will have been a negligible amount as well. No straw. We're not using straw me in this series. Loving the size of the header. I think it's 41 feet. So that is going to mean that we don't have to sit around forever doing harvests. We can just get the harvest done pretty quickly. And it's also got a fairly good sized grain tank as well. Looking at the minimap, the yield seems good anyway, which is surprising. Yeah, good but not perfect, but still, it doesn't seem bad. What a beast. So you'll probably notice already that this series is slower paced. We're not just rushing to get everything done as quickly as possible. I think, although short term you sort of think, oh yeah, it's more fun just to progress super fast, it actually isn't. When you look back at the end of a series, you think, I wish I had been a bit slower. We could have been more thorough. For example, Survival Challenge. Although progression seems slow, it wasn't actually that slow. It's quite fast. But yeah, when we hit 100 episodes on Survival Challenge, we are going to be changing to a new map, which I haven't decided on yet, and we're going to be starting again. I don't know if we should make it more challenging. We did start off with nothing in the bank account, so that was already quite a challenge. Anyway, let's get this field done. Already 25% full. That is made to measure, and I love when you've got crop destruction on, you can see how it's destroyed the stubble where we've been harvesting already, leaving those tram lines. Looks really realistic. Obviously in real life it just crushes the stubble, but it's got the same effect. More obvious when the sun is against it. Right, so that is, wow, that is actually really good. It's about 75% of a combine, of this combine. 73, and we're finished. We'll just park our pelleting machine over here, which is far too big for this tractor, but it's not going to be used on this tractor. Actually, this trailer's too big for this tractor as well. This tractor is more for doing a bit of flailing, small jobs. Should be okay. I think it's 80 horsepower in total. It's the major 80. Turn diff lock off. And we'll get our 8,000 litres into the trailer. 8,000 or so. And we'll conclude by taking it over to the sell point. I love it. After harvest, it's like a carpet. A carpet of stubble. So whilst that is happening, let's just check the best price for soybeans. We'll get a bit of money in. 2,000, wow, £2,738 over at Rusty Stores. I think that is north of here. It is. That's just up the road, literally. We will have some more harvesting to do very soon. That's that. It's only 40%, but as you've just seen, the price is good. So £18,000, 20,000, that's probably what we're looking at here. And actually, as we're going in this direction, I'll show you the back of the cow farm, a place which I don't think you can access from the main yard. Has its own entrance. It's where the slurry pit is, and a few old things. I think it's actually a dismantled combine harvester. Probably the one from FS11 or 9. Wow, for the first time ever I actually don't have the power to get past the traffic. That's very unusual. Yeah, this is it. This is its own little entrance. I do like the tractor though, it's very comfortable. Yeah, look at this. I think that's where we feed them. The cows, and then we have a bit of a turning circle where the slurry pit is. No slurry yet because we don't have the cows, but we're going to get them most likely in the next episode. There's the combine harvester. Yeah, it's from 09. It might have been in 11 as well. I think it was. So yeah, it just goes to show how nice this map really is. And here we are at the sell point, just up the road. So I did mention in the beginning of this video that I wanted to do compost. I still want to do compost. I think, never done it before, I think we can probably buy it from a placeable. You can get bags of it. I think that might be expensive. It's something I need to look into. we go. I'm going to go with £20,000. 23,118. You can't complain at that. And that is where we leave the video. So, as I said, vote down below. Next episode tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye for now.